Okay, today we are playing a game on VoD. We are in the gold SR range, and we will be playing Junkrat the entire way through. Our current team composition is Orisa, D.Va, Mei, Junkrat, Moira, and Mercy. So, Orisa, D.Va, not your usual combo of tanks. Normally, if you're going to go Orisa as your main tank, you'd go Roadhog as the off tank, but whatever, not the end of the world. Outside of D.Va, we've got nothing that can fight a Pharah, which is something I always personally worry about, especially on maps like VoD, where Pharah is quite popular. We do have D.Va, so there's that, but Pharah is just a very annoying hero to play against if you don't have, like, a Pharah counter, you know? And even if you do. Outside that, though, whatever. Let's just get the game started. So we're gonna defend first. We're going for the usual Junkrat strat with the trap, trigger something, pop it. Didn't kill anybody, unfortunate. We do just lob the trap right at them right here, and it's not really gonna do a whole lot because they can just kind of break it before they do anything else. So, you know, we just kind of chuck it at them. And if the enemy team are, like, not doing anything at the time, and you just kind of lob it at them, it's just free. They just break it. Like, yeah, whatever, just break it and then go about the business. We could instead just chuck it, like, back here, even just, like, back here. And then that's more likely to do something. It's more likely to get somebody. If they try and advance in without breaking it, it's in a more inconvenient location for them. They're less likely to think about it. They just, like, come around a corner, and then, hey, there's a trap right there. And it's just, they're more likely to be in an inconvenient location when they're dealing with it. Because if you just chuck it at them while things are neutral like that, they just break it and then move in, like, no problem. They'll slop it over the wall, and then they're just like, break it, go about our business. So it's just not very inconvenient for them. And that's the goal, really. We want, especially as someone like Junkrat, we're trying to be as inconvenient as is physically possible for the enemy team. Oh, we're also on the console today, by the way. I don't think I mentioned, so consider yourself forewarned. So their Junkrat pops out right next to us. Very surprisingly, didn't know he was coming. And, hey, he killed us. He threw the bomb, and then he threw the pizza, and then it was all over from there. You know, we could have used the concussive mine to back up faster to get away from him, but we died very unexpectedly, so you don't usually just, like, see your counterpart and then immediately go, well, I'm fucking out of here, right? So don't bother, point's gone, don't even bother, just risk death. Oh, yep, just risk death. There was nothing we were ever going to do over there, so we just opened ourselves up to dying. Which we did, and now we're staggered. We gotta walk all the way back over. We fed the Tracer some more ult charge. And now our teammates are just without one of their DPS for a while. Messed up the mine jump, unfortunate. We do have the Riptire. We do kind of just, like, want to use the Riptire. It's not an ult worth saving, you know? It's just, like, free picks, usually. So we are playing a long con right here. Hey, oh, got him. Didn't get D.Va. Damn, D.Va's got like 1 hit point left. How unfortunate. And we're mad about it. We're going to immediately jump down on this D.Va and go for her. So we've just used both our concussive mines to try and break D.Va's mech. I'm already, like, not super down with this plan that we've got right here to just jump in the enemy team and start fighting people. I'm already not super down with that. But then we jump in and use both of our mines just to, like, do damage to people. And so that means we don't have our mines to get away if things go badly, also. So I already don't like just how aggressive it was, and then we use both our methods of escape to just, like, do extra damage. I don't like doing that. Very risky play. We didn't get, like, punished for it at the end, so, I mean, we did at the very end, but by Junkrat's tire, so, you know. We didn't get punished for what we did, so hey, you know what I always say, if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn, but we did deserve to get punished a little bit more harshly for that than we actually were. So we're making our way back around now. The enemy team have not made a whole lot of progress since then. We're now going to begin playing Junkrat. This is a very unusual angle. I don't think I've ever actually seen a Junkrat go for this one before, but hey, you know, definitely unusual. So we've jumped down straight in front of the enemy team again. They don't really have anybody around that's, like, super likely to punish us for it, but it's still a very brazen maneuver to make, just to jump right down on them. So there, Reinhardt just used Earth Shatter, but it didn't sound like it accomplished a whole lot. And, oh god, everything's going everywhere. What a fucking mess. We've lost Mercy. We just lost Moira as well. I was going to say it's not the end of the world. We lost Mercy, but losing Moira as well suddenly makes it quite a bit worse. We wisely don't follow the person down there. We just start trying to throw bombs at them instead. The angle isn't actually very good because these bombs are not really going anywhere. They're just like bouncing off the wall, then bouncing off the other wall, and then hitting the ground. So the angle wasn't great. We could have gone for a slightly better angle to actually knock them down the staircase. Because as it stood, they didn't really stand much chance of killing the person, but we weren't likely to kill the person anyway. So we found their Junkrat. Oh, unfortunately, didn't manage to kill him. Got the tire off, killed some people, and then Ash finished us off as well. It's all kind of a fuck, basically. So we aren't doing a whole lot of area denial, really, because Junkrat's all about, like, spamming into the main thoroughfares for the enemy team, and just making that area as difficult to traverse as physically possible. I'm also not a big fan of, like, going right up to people. We play very aggressively. You can do some pretty cool aggressive stuff as Junkrat. He's a character that has a deceptively high skill cap. But, like, I'm more of the mindset of you want to just play Junkrat like he's artillery, where you're just, like, real out of the way, just bombarding the enemy, making it really difficult for them to make progress. And just making the area extremely difficult to traverse. We also should have used this tire by now. We've been sitting on it for a really long time. Junkrat, oh, that's unfortunate. Junkrat, he charges his ult very quickly, and his ult is just like free picks in a team fight. I lied to you, we are actually going to change to Reaper very briefly in here, but not a whole lot of Reaper. Thinking about Soldier, oh, big think. Alright, Reaper. We're not Reaper for very long. Trust me, you know, I didn't fully lie to you. Junkrat builds all very fast, and it's just, like, free picks, more or less. So you want to just, like, get that boy out there as quickly as possible. Unless you're working on some kind of combo with your teammates, then it's just like free picks. It's just like a free stagger on somebody, if nothing else. And that, in and of itself, is extremely powerful. So, just try and use the tire more frequently. You know, we're playing Reaper now, so yeah, we go up there and we try and put the shotguns on the bad men, and we hope that the bad men do not really focus us, because then things get bad for us as Reaper. Unfortunately, they did focus us. Our Wraith Form's down right now. We didn't really use it to engage. No, we didn't need to Wraith Form right now, because we aren't really hurt yet. Like, we can still stick around and fight more than that. So we use it to, like, run away, and then we decide to use it to re-engage again partway through. But then the enemy team turned to us, and now we don't have Wraith Form to get away. So we could have saved Wraith Form there and then used it when we were in a more hazardous position. And if we're going to use it to get out, you need to be careful when you go right back in again, because now you don't have your only escape as Reaper. And Reaper's not exactly a survivable boy without Wraith Form, because he's got the lifesteal, but, like, he's big, he's slow, so if the enemy team focuses you and you don't have Wraith Form, you're pretty fucked. Anyway, so, you know, careful when you how you use Wraith Form like that. So we just changed targets in the middle of this fight a bunch of times, because we were going for her. Then we're like, we'll go for Ash. Oh no, never mind. And we thought about going for Diva, Moira, or Ash, or Reinhardt, actually. Just pick one and commit to it. We, like, switched who we were actually looking at, like, between everybody available to us. Just pick one and commit to it. We are Reaper, so we do want to try and kill the squishies, if at all possible, but then we're also good at killing the tanks as well, so that's also of concern to us. Diva, inconvenient to kill as Reaper. Reinhardt, however, not terribly inconvenient to kill as Reaper. Mostly just inconvenient to get to. So Bob's over here. Hey, let's get some killing in on Bob. Oh god, here comes the tire. We dodge the tire. Sound barrier also saved pretty much everybody else. They're all really upset about what's happening right now. Batista's frozen, under the lamp at least, but hey, It's not gonna save his life. The unfortunate thing with the lamp against Blizzard, it doesn't save you, you know? They're just like, well, now I can break the lamp for free at least. So we do almost have Death Blossom built up. We're playing very aggressively right now. They don't have any hard crowd control on their team, so it's not super scary for us to do this. But if they've got like a Roadhog or a McCree, then something like that becomes scarier, or Sombra. Doing something like that becomes scarier because if you get into a bad spot, there's no guarantee you get out suddenly. So their Junkrat's behind us. We just used Wraith Form right there. We didn't need to use Wraith Form right there. And now we don't have Wraith Form for this situation, which became drastically scarier. Because we just kind of used it as a knee-jerk to the self-destruct, it looked like. But we didn't need to use it for the self-destruct. We're actually playing Reaper for a fair bit longer than I remember playing Reaper. I remembered the Reaper segment being like 30 seconds long. It's definitely been longer than 30 seconds. So we spin, but we got booped mad far away. So that didn't exactly work out too well. So that's the end of Reaper. It's all Junkrat from here on out. We've come to the correct conclusion that it must not have been us, it was the skin, obviously. That's what I tell myself every day. It's not my fault, it's the skin's fault. I get beat in my fighting game, I go, it's not my fault, it was the color's fault. It wasn't my fault. So, big takeaway, though, from that round. Junkrat, try and spam the choke points and just main thoroughfares more often. Get the ult out there as fast as possible, unless you're working to combo with someone specifically. And as Reaper, be careful how you use Wraith Form, pretty much. And just, like, commit to one target, kill that fucker, then move on. But, anyway, so now we're attacking. Usually easier to play Junkrat when you're attacking, because the enemy team tend to be more close together, which Junkrat is very good at punishing. We've managed to kill both their supports immediately, so hey, that's a good start for us. This was a very risky maneuver to go for, because we are half health right now, so Reinhardt is in position to actually kill us very quickly. Reinhardt's very scared, but if he hits us and then fire strikes, we die right now. And we die quite quickly, all things considered. But he was a pussy, didn't know how low we were, and didn't go for it. But, like, if he just, like, fire strike right after he hits, we die right there. But he didn't do that, so whatever. But a little bit scary all the same. So we captured the first checkpoint. We killed both their healers. It was going to be extremely hard for them to actually win. Be careful when you go for the mine, like, immediately on the guy when you don't know what his health is yet. Because you can easily just end up saving the guy instead if it doesn't actually kill him. And it's much... Ever since they nerfed the radius damage on Concussive Blast, like, it's not as free as it was previously. So be careful throwing the mine at somebody when you don't know how healthy they are exactly, in case you end up saving them. Same kind of problem that Bridget and Lucio have to worry about, where you can easily save the person by using your abilities. So we're up to some real shit right now. We're basically trying to, like, flank as Junkrat, and then we get into this scuffle with D.Va. We should really not be close to D.Va while we're doing this. It makes it easier for us to hit D.Va, but, I mean, D.Va's already pretty easy to hit. She's already a big girl in mech, right? So all this does is bring us closer to her automatic, infinite ammo, dual shotguns. So that's scary. We don't want to be close to D.Va. But I also just don't like going around and doing flanking stuff as Junkrat, to be honest with you, because I think Junkrat's main strength to me has always been his area denial, so I'm not... Anything that's gonna remove you from the fight for an extended period of time, I always think is just, like, not worth it as Junkrat, because you're missing vital uptime that you could just be spamming into the enemy, making them, like, scared to go anywhere, pretty much. Same bag with, like, Soldier. His thing is consistent DPS output, so, like, just flanking on Soldier, I'm just like, you're murdering your uptime. And, like, that's, like, a lot of the appeal of Soldier and Junkrat is just, like, their extremely consistent, sustained amount of damage they do. And Junkrat also does a fair amount of spike damage as well, which is nice, but it's the consistent output that's the main appeal of these heroes for me, so anything that's, like, removing uptime, I'm not a fan of. So we do have the tire. We want to get the tire out there as fast as possible still. We're getting into some unusual scuffles. We did just, like, isolate ourselves from our teammates up where most of the enemy team looked like they were moving towards. So we put ourselves in a pretty dangerous spot, and we did get punished for it that time. Don't really know why exactly we went up there. Maybe just trying to control the high ground, but, like, just going up there was pretty risky. And it didn't look like it had much in the way of payoff. So Reinhardt just used Earth Shatter right there. I would have just stopped to use the tire immediately upon seeing the tire go off, or the Earth Shatter go off. Because, hey, they ain't gonna be doing much to avoid the tire right now, are they? We've just been sitting on this ultimate for quite a while, and I just want to get that boy out there so we can start working on the next one. It's a pretty strong ultimate for, like, what it does is a very strong effect. And Junkrat just charges ult so fast. And if you have an ult that charges fast, you have to use it fast to also get the benefit of that. So he really, like, just sitting on it for so long is heartbreaking to me. And it's true of all ultimates that you want to get the ultimate out there as fast as possible so that you can start working on your next ultimate. Because it doesn't really matter who you're playing. If you're playing any character in this game and you just ult more times than your counterpart on the enemy team, you probably won the game because you just made better use of your resources, pretty much. Overwatch as a game is very dictated by ultimates, so if you can use your ultimate more times than the enemy team, that's great. That's fantastic. So, I haven't been looking at our trap, but I don't think we've had it up as much as we could have been, but I haven't been paying super close attention to that. I've been talking about my own nonsense. So we have isolated ourselves from our teammates by doing this. Junkrat doesn't need to be this close. Like, I know that the self-destruct flew over us right there, so that's scary. But, like, we can just be standing further back instead. Like, Junkrat doesn't need to be close to the enemy team. I talked earlier about how I think of him as basically being artillery. The main appeal of artillery is, hey, it's a lot of damage very far away from the enemy. Very difficult for them to return fire, often not in line of sight of them at all. Junkrat's the same deal. You can just be real far back, spamming into the area, and hey, you're doing God's work right there, just by doing that. So we've built up the tire. We don't want to drop it out immediately, because they're kind of all looking right at us. Reinhardt's regrouping with us right now. I think Diva's out of mech. Yeah, Diva's out of mech right now, so we gotta wait a little bit before it's worth using the tire right now. We do still want to get this boy out there as fast as possible. Any hero you play in the game, that's just good advice. Get the ult out there so you can start working on your next ult. Don't waste it, you know, make sure you're using it for a good reason, but, like, get it out there at, like, the first good opportunity, pretty much. So there, Reinhardt, he's up to no good. We went, like, a really weird way around, because we went past the fucking, the bonfire health kit over there. So, like, that took us around a really weird way, and again, it just, like, played havoc with our overall uptime, which I don't like doing. Any character you play, even the flankers, you want to have as much uptime as possible. Like, you want to be interacting with the enemy team as much as possible, because that's your main way of affecting the game, right? Interacting with the enemy team one way or another. So, any time where you're kind of not doing anything, you want to seek to minimize that time, basically. Even if you're playing a flanker, right? The ones you'd most reasonably expect to just not be interacting with the enemy team sometimes, because you've got to get into position, you've got to actually go to the flank and all that and wait for an opportunity, but, like, you still want to minimize time spent just kind of not doing anything, just moving around the map, you know? You want to cut that time down as much as possible. You want to always be doing something. So if you're, like, moving to a new position, like, that's time you spend doing nothing except repositioning yourself, right? And some heroes, it's no big deal. Some heroes, they just get there, pretty much. But if, like, you getting to a new position is going to be a cost, like, a time investment to do, you've got to be really confident that position is going to be worth the time investment it took you to get there, right? So, if you just spend a long time, like, walking around places, like, you gotta have a good reason to do it. and it didn't really feel like we had a good reason to do it. We just kind of like went down that way, to be honest. So we go for the same strat we went for previously, just Symmetra right through the doorway and start fighting. It hasn't gotten off to quite the smashing success as last time, where we just appeared and killed both healers, but we did appear, kill a couple people. Now both their healers are dead, so they're not too happy about that. Hey, look at that, we died, but whatever, we won the fight anyway. Fantastic, we won the game. It wasn't really particularly close. Don't think we're gonna see the whole play. We might see the whole play. What did Diva get? I mean, she did get a couple people with self-destruct here, I think. Oh, she got 3 people with it. Okay, I only remember getting 2 people with it. Okay, I see. Well, you know, we got him. And that's the important thing. See if YouTube's figured out its algorithm a little better today, because yesterday's was awful. So that's kind of cool. Yep, Jane's smart. No interest. Okay. Nope. No, probably not. Maybe if you caught me in the right mood. Nope, definitely not. Oh, that's interesting. I'm a big fan of Yakuza, so that's... Damn. I don't like that design anywhere near as much as that design. Like, this design, so much more generic than that one. Damn. Yeah, anyway. Don't watch Game of Thrones, no particular interest. Okay, YouTube algorithm doesn't know what the fuck it's doing, apparently. That's interesting. Damn, just so much less striking and distinct. Anyway, whatever. Main takeaway, more uptime, more spam, more artillery, less aggression, more uptime. If you're repositioning, gotta be worth it. Get that ult out there as fast as possible. Be careful how you use Wraith form, pretty much. That's what I got for you. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST till 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description below. If you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.